Hello, hello.
Hey, hi. Hi, Jenny.
Hello. Oh, let's let Raj in to the waiting from the waiting room, shall we? He deserves to be here. Hey, Truman.
Good early morning, Jenny.
So beautiful here. It's almost light out.
Oh,
Summer is way easier to do this, that's for sure.
I'm on like my last slide, throwing one in there, and then I will be done.
You know how much I love stuff at the last minute. I can't wait to see
Yeah.
what's in there.
Well, at least you won't have to deliver it, unless you want to.
No, no, there's going to be a lot, just so you three all know, there'll be a lot of things where I'll say, who's going to talk about this? And you all just jump right in, okay?
Everybody be dead silent. Nobody jump. Just
Fine.
leave
It'll
her
be a
out
short
there.
call.
Yeah.
I'll have more coffee. Oh boy. Oh, and we're recording all this. That's great. Let's pause that, shall we? Raj, for that reminder. All right. We have an intimate family gathering today, and that is fine. We are going to record this for the world so that some people can watch it when it's a convenient time zone for them. Cheers. I'll drink to that. Here we go. All right. Welcome to the Global Learning and Development POC call for May 7th, 2026. We're so glad that you are all here from all the time zones and all the continents represented. We're so glad. So, welcome. Here's a smattering of the representation of some of the countries that we know are here today. And so, we are so glad you're here representing the core value of lifelong learning for your country and your region. And remember that as we are going through the information here, it's designed for you to take back to your region leaders and your members so that they can be fully informed of all of the latest and greatest in BNI. We have a welcome to all of you, but a very special welcome this morning to the newest member of the Global Learning and Development team. I am particularly happy to add Catherine Sagers to our training team. Oh, welcome, Catherine. Welcome, welcome. I have had the pleasure of being on some trainings with Catherine, and what a great addition to our team. And I know that, Catherine, you're working on some really fun and interesting and helpful, really important projects for us to make this a world-class training team for a world-class group of people. So thank you for being here and welcome, welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm delighted to be joining the team. Can't wait to get stuck in. Thank you for the
Oh,
lovely
yes.
welcome.
Yes, yes. All right, where are we going today? I should know that. And so I'm going to tell you. We will start with a core value and just a little heads up because you're the new guy on the team, Catherine. I'm going to ask you for a core value when we get to that slide. And we are going to, as we often do, talk about what is happening around the world in the world of training and some specific projects that we're working on. So you can take that information back to your regions and countries. Also, some dates that you should know about. We will also make this deck available so that you can have all of the links that are on the slides so that you can add those to your calendar and put those out to the people that you are serving. We've got some very specific things to update you on BNI Academy now that we are several months into our new learning platform. We are finding this to be a really great thing for all of our members and our teams. And some translation support. We keep making progress there so that we can really change the way the world does business. And we will end, of course, with some questions and a closing quote, as is the BNI tradition. So hope that is a good agenda for you because that's where we're going. I have the mouse and that's where we're taking it. All right, let's start as we so often do with a core value. What is top of mind for you today, Miss Segers?
I'm going with traditions and innovation because everything I'm getting excited about or working about that's coming is all embedded in that pure BNI, but with all the wonderful new technology coming. And so I'm really excited about the projects we have on deck and the things to increase member value. So I'm definitely plucking that one out, and I'm reminded every day about just not straying too far away from pure BNI and what
Yeah,
our toolkit is, whilst we embrace the way that we can be more efficient with technology. So I've been surrounded by the product team and the Blueprint project and all the National Master Trainer things going on. And what we need to do is catch up all the trainings that we need for our members in that technical space, and then we'll be ready to go. So that's mine for
that's
this
right.
month.
Chef's kiss. Yes, I love it. I had a conversation with somebody yesterday who was talking about the fact that we are bringing world-class training to our members around the world, and that makes me very excited. Love to be part of something that's high quality, and the traditions and innovation is right in there. So where have we been doing this? That's a great question. We have been doing this around the world. My mouse is as tired as I am today, so we may have a little delay in our slides. But you can see here some pictures of live trainings around the world. We've got some support director training. I know that one in the bottom left where you see Jen and Steve, that was just a couple of weeks ago in Vietnam where they were doing master training. I believe that was the first one that we have done. And so that feels kind of historic and kind of groundbreaking. But we've got a world tour. We are probably you are going to see Catherine or Jen or Steve in a country near you as they are heading around the world for various trainings that you'll see. A picture that's not on here that I am pretty excited about is before the U.S. National Conference last week. We had 2 days of training for all of the area directors, about 40 area directors from the U.S. And we talked about scaling your team. We talked about launch. There is just nothing like getting a bunch of learners in a room together and figuring out the best way to do things. So watch for those dates. Probably those famous trainers are going to be in a conference room near you for some training. In fact, let's talk about what is happening recently in the world of training for you. In BNI Academy, you may have noticed some recent updates and upgrades to the platform. We are going to hear more about that. There are more to come, and we have Truman and Raj who will talk about some specifics a little bit later. The National Master Trainer and Certified Trainer programs, that is kind of the spotlight today. We have got a few slides in here to talk about this new program. We are helping to scale the training around the world so that people in your country, in your language, will have all of the traditions plus innovation that Catherine talked about, and will be able to bring that to your directors and to your members. This was successful in APAC, and right now they are down in Peru. They are doing Central and South American countries, and they're getting really good feedback. So we are excited to build out the team. In addition, we are working on some launch training. I have a slide for that later. Starting next week, we have a new round of 4 weeks of training for that, and that is coming up. We'll also be probably putting some of that together in person. Hopefully, we will be able to do those launch director and support director trainings in your markets. That is the goal. I think a lot of us just like to be together, and so we want the training to be that way as well. We are updating the Passport to Success program as well as the mentorship program in BNI Academy, so watch for updates in that arena. And the ED and ND training program. I believe that is something that we are also working on, because we know when people come into a role, we assume they know a lot, but that assumption isn't always true. And so we are creating something that's more of a system to help those new people do a great job early on. And of course, we have Jeremy Walsh on our BNI Technology Training Series that is happening on your regional calendars. Look for those. Those are, I believe those are happening on Fridays. And that is a great way. Those are all recorded as well. So if that's not in a time zone when you're awake, then you can certainly go back and look at the recordings of those. And finally, some things that are coming up, the Founders Education Series. Dr. Meisner has been gracious enough every month to pick a topic and be available on a webinar so that people can ask questions. I believe next week is the Ask the Founder as part of the education series. So that's an overview. Why don't we talk specifics about some of the things that are coming up? Speaking of our founder and chief visionary officer, Dr. Meisner will be doing an Ask the Founder online. He did this at the US conference just last week. Well attended. Everybody always appreciates hearing from Dr. Meisner. Just ask, as this says here, your most pressing questions, or just not even pressing questions, some casual questions. He loves to interact with directors and members about all kinds of things that matter to the world of business. So that should be on your calendar. That is next week on Tuesday. Please take advantage of the founder of BNI and the Ask the Founder. This is for members and directors. So please make sure that everybody in your regions, everybody is aware of that. The Tech Talks are on Fridays. Jeremy did a couple of different things at the US conference, and we know that he goes around the world as well, different conferences and different trainings. So take advantage of this as we are integrating different platforms with BNI Connect. It is great for us to be very well aware of what BNI Connect is capable of, as well as some of the other platforms that are going to connect with it and help our members really maximize their membership. And this one I am particularly excited about. We will start our series next week. This is not perhaps unprecedented, but I like to think that it is historical that we are doing the same launch training around the world for company-run countries, for franchise countries, different places in the US, all of the continents where we have BNI, we have the same launch training. And this is the first time that I'm aware of that we have something so standard around the world to help everybody launch consistently and confidently. So you are welcome to join us for this call. You are also welcome to send people from your countries. Please bring executive directors. Please let launch directors, anyone who is interested in leaping forward in the region to launch new chapters with the very best culture and increasing the footprint that BNI has in your particular region. We will have breakout rooms by language so that you will have to listen to me talk in English for the most part of it, but when you get into breakout rooms to talk about what's working in your country, you will be able to be with other people from your country so that you'll be able to do that in your first language. Something to look forward to is the Global Online Support Director Consultant Training. So we've already kind of got some launch director training going, and we are working on support director, and that is going to be coming. So watch for news of that, and we will do the same thing. We will have online training, and the breakout rooms will be by language. It is impressive to me every time we do a training that so many of you are doing business in a second or third language. And so we are, you'll hear from Neha a little bit later how we are really aware of making it available to you to have translations. We want that to be possible for all of your members. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for your perseverance in doing that. It is a true testament, I think, of the quality of people we have on this training team that you are willing to do that for your people. Speaking of training executive directors, we have a few of these dates coming up in different parts of the world so that you can have your executive directors in your country aware of these. The next one coming up is later this month, and that is going to be in Milan. So please click here when you get this deck so that you will be able to register and share these slides with the people who would be most interested in this. We've got a couple of these coming up in different areas. So this one is for our European countries, or for those who just would like to be in the European countries, if you happen to find yourself there later this month. We also have one excuse me, coming up in South Africa. There will be one at the end of July in Johannesburg. So if that is closer to your place of business, then please feel free to register for that. That is coming up the very end of July. And I looked online at this hotel and conference center. It looks pretty nice. So maybe if you're looking for an excuse to go see Andre, then I think maybe you're kind of close there, aren't you? I'm sure he would love to do a one-to-one with you. We're also going to have executive director training before our global convention in Monaco. Hopefully you are all aware of the global convention and you are going to register and join us there for not only some really great training, but also listening to our keynote speakers and roundtables and breakout sessions and lots of connections with people from around the world. So before that conference takes place, we will have some executive director training. So please pass that along to anyone you know who might be interested in the conference and say, just buy your flights a few days early so that you can do some training. Now, this National Master Training and Certified Training Program, I wonder, this is kind of last minute, Catherine, but you have been involved in this. And so these next two slides, I wonder if you could speak into where this came from, like why are we trying to do this and what are we hoping to accomplish?
Of course, very happy to. So, the National Master Trainer Program and Certified Trainer Program is a move globally by BNI to look at becoming more standardized as an organization across all of our wonderful countries and members. And I think that lots of us that have been around for a very long time in BNI have always wanted that concept of we should be able to go to any part of BNI in the world that we share and experience that toolkit and that mission in the same way. So, for us to do that, we need the best of the best people to be training all of our stakeholders in the countries against that global mission and vision. And we really want to ramp up and help achieve our million member milestone for Mary as well. Wow, there are a lot of M's in that sentence. A million member milestone for Mary. Anyway, and we want it for us, right? We don't want it for Mary, but I'm going to tell her I said that. Anyway. Back to the purpose of National Master Trainer. This is really looking at bringing the best standards of training we can and ensuring that everyone that is delivering training to the members, to directors, to executive directors, to national directors is all singing from that same playbook. And we're all using standardized materials, which together collectively we've all decided to be the best minimum requirement for the standards that we should be delivering certain parts of our toolkit and process. So for us to do that, what we need, and this is partly why I guess my roles come around to work more across Europe, Middle East and Africa, is that what we want to do is have heads of training in countries, like lots of you joining the call are already doing that role. And we want to be able to then make sure that we're certifying within your country anyone who is training your members directly in member skills workshops. And very importantly, anyone who may be training director consultants. Executive director training and above will always be handled centrally from the global training team at the moment, I am told. But we do want to empower and properly certify against a standard all people who are training from the head of training in a country and to all the training team that may report into them below. And that's to make sure that we're providing the best material, that everything you have is current, that everyone understands, and that even people who are multilingual or can move around will be talking the same language with the same glossary and terms. And so that's a really amazing project. Now, to do that, we've kicked it off with the National Master Trainer programs, which Jen and Steve in the photo you saw, they went to APAC first. So they had 90 odd delegates, I think, in the end. So that was a crazy National Master Trainer, an amazing course. They're now in Peru doing the same, and the final one will be ending up in London in early June. Now, those are not the last ones we're going to do, and certainly lots of people will be recruited into the training teams ongoing. But we will be looking to make it an obligation, if you like, for the right reasons, that people who are training are being certified through that program before they say anything incorrect or train a process that might be not congruent with the rest of BNI globally. So yeah, if you want to click through, please, Jenny, on the components. What we're really looking for here during the course is firstly who can come. So this is something we're still getting to grips with. We are finding our way in this. If I would talk about where it becomes not a nice learning journey, is if people are just piling on because they just want to come and they love training. And we never want to stop people with a lifelong learning mindset coming to these events. But if they're not actually responsible for training at least members level in their country, then it's probably not the right course for them. So we want to try and keep the audiences to people that have training responsibility in their countries or territories. So if you are the lead of a trainer in your country, definitely you need to be sitting this course and doing the full 5 days. If you have director training teams, they would be very important to come to this. When we get down to the people that may be training your normal member workshops, and we're not talking EDs training their members here, we're talking people who actually train across a wider territory, then this would also be appropriate for them to come through. So the 5 days at the moment may over time be actually broken down to say, if you're a lead of the country, you do all 5. If you only train members, you can turn up maybe just for the last day or 2. We're just figuring that out as we learn our way through this now. But for these ones, intentionally, it would be the full 5 days for the ones that are being sold right now. There is some pre-learning on Academy, because this is train the trainer. This is not teaching you the course. This is assuming you've got some knowledge of the materials in advance. So you would need to be availing yourself of the materials in advance, making sure you understand the course before. And we're going to then dive into looking at pre-training, post-training, and when we're there, it's going to be really that that immersive, the way we learn, adult learning, learning styles, control of audience, how you get interaction. It's how you are a good trainer through our materials in BNI, rather than what is the material and just showing you the material. It's not that. There will also be a certification process afterwards. So we will be asking you to send in some videos of you training live in action in your fields and territories, so that we can absolutely see that when we stamp you as a certified trainer, you are at that level, that you've earned that, and you can go forth and spread the lovely word of BNI. So we're really excited about the program. It will get better and better with every one that we do. And yeah, really hope to see some of you on the one coming up in June, which I'll be privileged to be supporting Steve to deliver. So anything else you need, please feel free to reach out to any of us on that global training email, and we'll be happy to answer. And any additions you've got or feedback as we learn, we will take that all in. So yeah, thank you very much, Jenny, for the opportunity to speak.
Yeah, Catherine, thank you. There's a question in here. Andres is saying, should every ED be doing this training if they are doing member training in their own regions?
Yeah, so just to clarify again, because this is where there has been some confusion, so thank you for raising it again, Andre. This is not an expectation that every ED, because they have a contractual responsibility to train members, needs to be certified by the training team. This would be, for instance, I am an ED who is also part of the national training team for the UK and therefore trains members across the whole country. So it's that level we're looking for. So if you have someone who is training presentation skills to anyone from South Africa that wants to come on, they would be certified at a country level. They should sit the training. You training your own members in your region, you wouldn't, as your ED role, need to fulfill this training. And that's the separation at the moment. Over time, that may change. But right now, we're looking for people who have a national responsibility for training in their markets. So thank you for the question.
Yeah, that's great clarification. Thank you. I'm just getting messages as I'm asking because Jennifer Tolley and I work a lot together. Since I was at a conference and she's been training, we have not been in the same country very much for the last several weeks. And she just gave me a message yesterday saying that they are in Peru doing this National Master Training program. And she said they're doing teachbacks, which is, they have practiced the material and now they're giving it to each other in small groups. They're practicing what Jen and Steve have been teaching them. And she said, but they're all doing it in Spanish. Jen doesn't speak Spanish, and I don't think Steve does either, but Steve is wearing translation headphones so that he is able to hear what they are doing. And I'm so excited about that level of technology and training and intentionality to make sure that now people in Spanish-speaking countries will have the information and the practice they need to go into other Spanish-speaking areas in their own language to talk about the business concepts. So as Catherine mentioned when she started, we are trying to standardize a lot of the language and the practices so that we know we are bringing world-class training so everybody can maximize their BNI memberships, because our role is to help our members increase their business, and we have a really great system to do that. So thank you for that update, Catherine. I knew you could explain it very thoroughly, and you did. So where can you go for this? That's a great next question. As Catherine mentioned, there will be training next month in London between the 8th and the 12th of June. So when you get this deck, you will be able to click those blue letters for a live registration link, and you can join her. And please pass this on to anyone in your countries who also might be wanting to register for this, and it is in one of those positions that she mentioned earlier. Judy, that is a great question about BNI Academy, and look at what is next. When we get done with this section, you will be able to answer. You have the answer to that yourself, and I'm going to turn this over to Truman, and he is going to tell you the latest and greatest updates with BNI Academy.
Thank you so much, Jenny. To answer Judy's question, we are looking at a mobile app, but to be honest, it's not our priority in the immediate because of some of the things that I'm going to be talking about and previewing right now. But I think BNI Academy does work very well mobily. If you access BNI Academy on your mobile browser, then everything has been optimized for that mobile experience. So I'd still recommend, if there are members that love taking trainings on their phone, which I know we have many, that our site is set up for that experience, please go ahead and recommend our BNI Academy site through a mobile browser. And we're exploring a couple different options that we can make that even faster for your members to get there before we have a dedicated BNI app. Moving on to just a few of the updates that we've made in the last month, I just wanted to highlight. Some are a little more apparent than others. One that may have flown under your radar will be the search update. So what we kind of saw with the site was that our searches were not searching as keywords. They were searching as if you put what you were searching in quotations if you were to search it on Google. What that does is it makes word order be ultimately important, and it won't search incomplete words. So if you were looking for podcast episode 491 and you searched podcast 491, because you omitted the word episode in between podcast and 491, it would not pull up because it was only looking for a complete title. So we have changed all of the searches across the site to be keyword searches. This will affect things like if you search chapter manual, it will return chapter operations manual where it wouldn't before. And this affects, again, all of our searches. This affects searching for training, searching for resources. A big one is this affects assigning to users. So if you had a partial name or a nickname, it wouldn't pull it up before. Now it will, since it's pulling it up from keywords. It'll find like half of an email signature. It really affects a lot, all of the functions we do in the site to find things through those searches. So I think this is actually probably the most impactful one that we've released in the last month, where paradoxically, it may have been the one that wasn't immediately apparent because it wasn't as in your face. So really happy we pushed this over to the site. Next slide, please, Jenny. The next one, I think if searching wasn't the most impactful, this one has to be. This is our training catalog update. I think we've had some issues with this that even stretch back to our business builder time because the logic carried over from them. The issue was that training programs and courses a user was enrolled in would not display in the training catalog, causing a lot of confusion of where they were going to be located, especially for people who don't use the site a lot. I'm thinking the majority of our members, when they go on the site, they're just looking for a training. They don't know if they've been assigned it or they've not assigned it. They just want to find it. And what I'm really happy to report is if they go into the training catalog, they will be able to find everything. I've taken a screenshot here, even though I've already been enrolled in Member Success Program. If I search Member Success Program, it pulls up right there for me. There's just a missing enroll button, but there's also a tag that says I'm enrolled, which I'll get to in just a minute. So it's a big change of intuitiveness to the site. Whatever they're looking for, if it's a training, it's in the training catalog. If it's a resource, it's found there. That's the only distinction. But they'll never again go to my training and not find a training they're not enrolled in, or go to the training catalog and not find a training that they're already enrolled in. So big change to the site. Really, really happy about that one. Nope, you're on the right track, Jenny. Go ahead. You're pushing me along. I'm getting my music played to get moving along. So enrollment tag update. The issue, this is a little less impactful, but I think it was still affecting our users. Users don't know if a training was assigned to them or if they enrolled themselves. I think part of the cause of this issue is just confusion on not knowing the exact title of a training and looking at something and being like, is this the training they want me to take? I don't know if this is the exact one. Now you can look at a training and know, did I enroll myself or did somebody else assign this training to me? I think this is big news for all of our members who are assigned training, which is the vast majority. When they go on the site, they can easily highlight, okay, what have I been assigned to take by my leadership team, by my regional team? If it's a national push, they can immediately highlight that. So all courses, whether it's on the My Training page or the training catalog, will have these tags on every course card that will highlight how they were enrolled in the course. Part of this, but I think just part of our site update, I actually don't have a slide of, I'm thinking of, is we actually changed some of the site logic as well. If you're searching for an individual course and it's part of a training program that you're enrolled in, previously you would not have been able to find that course because we were already enrolled in the training program and it removed it from visibility. So if you're looking for a course you wanted to take again, maybe it's one of Dr. Ivan's podcasts, but you had been enrolled in a training program that contained that podcast, you wouldn't be able to find that podcast separately, and we've resolved that issue. All courses should be able to be found whether or not you're taking a training program that includes them. And your progress through that course will carry over between those locations, so you don't have to worry about it resetting. I think it's another one that's in the background, but when it affected our users, it really was detrimental to their experience, and we're really happy that that's been resolved as well.
Truman,
Next slide,
can I
please, Jen.
ask a clarifying question?
Sure.
This just actually happened. So, and you were talking about it. So if there was a new vice president in a chapter and I assigned him the vice president training in BNI Academy and I clicked for notifications and then he emailed me back and said, where will I find this training? He should be able to just log into mybni.com, go to BNI Academy and find under my training, he should see that this training is there for him. Is that right?
That's correct. It should be under his
Okay.
My Training page. I know for a lot of
Okay.
us that sometimes, because I want to be conscious that there's so many different experiences of how people use the site, sometimes we get a vice president and they've been vice president 3 times before. They've been in BNI for 20 years. So when they go to My Training, they see a lot of items there. So I always recommend that these pages are really helpful, but it's very useful to use multiple tools to find something. So now hopefully
Yeah.
that search option, if he also has the title,
Yeah.
will be much easier to find it as well.
Okay. That's great. Thank you. At least I got my question answered. I don't know about anybody else, but thank you.
Thanks, Jenny.
Mm-hmm.
For looking towards the future, our highest priority is going to be the local file update. These files will have a folder structure and permissions that's set by the national offices. For those who were using Business Builder, we had a version of this that worked in Business Builder. However, we never were able to get it to function down to the member level where you could set folders that had their own permissions. What we're working on will be the full realization of that idea, where it's folders that your national office can create. They can be localized however you would like. So I'm sure that we'll see a lot of folder structures that, for instance, will have a folder for every region. But that's not the only way you can set it up. It's entirely dependent on you and your national and regional teams. If you want folders for national or regional campaigns, however you would like to organize that folder system, you can set it up that way. And you can set permissions however you would like, so members can have access into the system if you allow permissions down to a member level for a folder. We hope and recommend that you'll do that sparingly, just so that we can keep their visibility to what's most essential. But you'll be able to create a folder, assign permissions to the folder however you would like, upload directly to the folder without going through global training, and then have access to that folder by whomever you'd like. Uploading to the site will happen by national and regional teams. There will be some guidelines around these folders that we'll discuss a lot towards the release of this update, but just putting it in your mind before you get a misconception, we are going to have guidelines. So you won't be able to have members uploading to these folders. The lowest level will allow uploading to these folders will be your regional teams. So think executive directors, think regional admins at that level will be able to upload to these folders. However, you can set permissions of who can view them however you would like. So we hope that this will be a real easing of some pain points of that document repository aspect of Academy. And it is our primary focus as we're looking forward. Next slide, please, Jenny. Because of this, we hope to bring the local files, all our attention and energy to it. We're really trying to bring them in the next couple months to you because we think that that's going to be one of the most impactful updates we can potentially make to the site. So all of our efforts are bent towards that. Because of that, apart from bug fixes that are in the site, so if you're encountering bugs, please still raise those to us. All other site improvements are going to be on hold until after the release of the local files. So we're pausing any of the other updates so that we can full force tackle these local files, make sure we get them as close to what we're wanting to at release. If you're having bugs, again, please continue to raise them with us because we will be tackling those concurrently. All other fixes will be at the end. So a lot we're working on, a lot we're still hoping to bring.
I love the image of a full force tackle. That's a perfect American analogy for how we go after these bugs, right? Let's do it. I love it.
Completely. And Jenny, I actually had a question from Andre I want to tackle. Can we ensure that local file uploads are locked in only to the country or region they're uploaded from? Andre, great question. Local files are only going to be able to be seen by the country that you're in. So if you're in any country, you can see your country's files. But really more than that, because we're going to be able to have you set the read permissions, and I always advise set them as narrow as you can. My hope is that these are going to be really useful, but any one group, when they log in, aside from maybe the national director, will only see a few additional folders that are really specific their regional or national teams wants them to see. But they'll always only be for your country. So great question. Any other questions before we move on? Will we be cleaning up the current resources? Another great question, Andre. Yes, it is my hope we will clean up the current resources. What we're doing right now is, I think in my mind, how I envision it is we'll introduce the local files update, let you build out the structure that you want before we really worry too much about maybe you moving some of your resources from our central system into the local files, and then we can delete them out of the central system, either ones you don't want anymore or just the ones that you're moving to local files, we'll delete them out of the central system. So it's going to be local files are introduced. Then we'll look at an audit of the site. And there are a couple tools I really want to bring to the site that will hopefully make that audit a lot easier for us that I imagine we'll introduce before we worry about an audit. Things like being able to bulk move resources. that feature alone could be so helpful to setting up your local files. I want to make sure we have that introduced to the site before we ask you to go and click individual files one by one and move them over. So yes, we are. I think it's going to be after a couple more updates. I hope that answers your question. All right, and I'll answer any other questions that are in the chat, but we'll move on to resource and course uploads. This is a repeat of a chat we've had before. If you have any courses or resources that you need to be uploaded to the site, please click on this form and you can put in a request. When you're doing so, it's really important just to kind of fill out the form completely in all of the different columns and fields. What I'm seeing some of is we'll have some requests that have some of the fields filled out, but not every one of the fields. And when that happens, we have to go back to you to get that information. So the best way to have the fastest upload is just to make sure we fill out all of the columns on the spreadsheet when we're submitting. Next slide, please, Jenny. And then if you need assistance, another repeat slide, but always a good reminder, support at BNI Connect is a great place for any access issues or bugs. Otherwise, go ahead and submit a ticket to globaltraining@bni.com for any of your content or course issues. And then I believe I'm going to hand this over to Raj to take the rest of BNI Academy.
Thank you, Truman. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. So here are a couple of updates from my end in terms of the BNI Academy, where we have implemented and we had done some bug fixes for the entire academy based on the issues which we have reported. As part of the implementation part, we had received quite a number of requests, on the search bar, which is kind of a global search we used to call, like that has been tagged as by default as an English language. So that has been diversified, and it has been right now. It will be the search option will be provided with your for the native language. So the search option is being replaced with the language which is being updated in your profile. So that's one of the major change which is implemented. And we also introduced a course time report, which is going to provide you the details of an individual who have been spent, and it will be providing the duration, like what the duration they have spent for an individual course level, or maybe for the entire for the training history. So that is one of the an updated or the new report which has been brought into the reporting part. And along with that, the one of the key implementation is on the e-learning module. So every time it used to open in a new tab wherein the user has to click on, they have to enable the the pop-up to view the e-learning into the new tab, or maybe entirely in a new window. Instead of that, so when the e-learning is being clicked to launch or to to run the module, so that is automatically is going to open in a new tab irrespective of your browser. If you're using a Edge or if you're using a Chrome browser, so by default that will be opening in a new tab. So that is one of the biggest implementation it has been done by the tech team. And we had a limitation on the mobile view when you're going to access the BN Academy through the mobile application or maybe the mobile view. So that is where the limitation of the course view or with the output. So that is also been fixed. And as Truman already mentioned about the tag, which is going to show you the course or the program which has been assigned, or whether you have been self-enrolled. So it has been irrespective of the roles or with the admin access. So that has been implemented for all the users. So that is one of the, kind of a small but an effective implementation from the tech team, which is going to differentiate whether we have been assigned or it has been self-enrolled to the program. So that's one of the few of the implementation which we have done for the last month. We'll go for the next slide, Jenny. Some of the issue fixes which we want to update you. During the last month, and we did identify the issues in terms of course completion, especially on the video type related course. So we had some technical glitch, and the completion was not getting pulled out properly, and it was not getting recorded. So that has been fixed right now for the video type related course. This in turn was dependent on the program completion or the course completion as well. So some of the program had entirely of the video courses, and some of them had around 5 to 6 of the video courses, and rest of them have been part of the e-learning. So these fixes also been directly affected with the program completion as well, where the bug has been fixed and the completion is actually recorded or getting updated on the on the system as well. So we have been seeing a number of reduction on the tickets in terms of the completion issues. Apart from that, there was a bug on the UI for the mobile version that has been for the reporting part. So that has also been updated. And yeah, and one of the major things would be on the enrollment tags, all with the MSP enrollments actually. So in terms of MSP, we did identified in terms of the number of users being not enrolled for the program due to the auto assignment, and where some or the other way the auto assignment rule got disconnected between the user interface and with the auto assignment rule. So that has been we worked with the technical team and we did found out there is a gap of around 1,000 to 2,000 plus users being missed out during a specific time frame, and that has been rectified. And yes, we have all the users in place and the MSP auto rule is in place as well. So that is running, and that's one of the major fix which has got been addressed, and it's been up and running on the MSP auto assignment. So that is one of the biggest lift which we have done for the last month. With this, we'll go for the next slide, Jenny. Yeah, as we are talking about the MSP update, so the report what we are providing to you is as on 6th May, which is as on yesterday. We'll go with the next slide, Jenny. A quick breakup on a month wise. So since we did found some of the issues and the completions not getting recorded and the MSP was not getting updated properly. So these are the due to these kind of an interrelated issues that we are finding some quite a good number of increase in no MSP for the last month and with the subsequent month as well. So probably with this all these fixes, we are expecting the MSP completion going to get reduced in the upcoming days. This is a quick snap on the last 6 months from 2025 and 2026 for the last 6 months, so that seeing a huge number of 20,000 plus no MSP completion. So yeah, as I mentioned, we are expecting that get reduced in the upcoming days. We'll go for the next slide, Jenny. This is a quick breakup on a by percentage by with the country wise. So as we are finding around 29 countries are in the bucket of 20 to 33%, and the second would be on the 7 to 20%. We have 21 countries. So we are focusing on the first three countries with 7 to 47 of the count. So if you're going to have majority of the count going to get reduced, so that probably we'll achieve the the set week for the entire organization part. We'll go for the next slide, Jeff. So this is a quick breakup on a country level, so we can find the number of users based on the percentage of non-completion. And at the end of the bottom of the slide, you can see the MSP completion data, which has already been uploaded in BNI Academy. Since as I did mention for the previous calls as well, I really request you to use this report and share it across to your region and with the chapters, so that they can complete the MSP or they can update the MSP accordingly, so that we can reduce the number of count for 20,000. So if I'm correct, in the couple of months back, the count was around 17 to 18,000, and yes, it's been increased by 2 to 3,000 plus due to all this migration with updates as well. So probably down the line we can see a good number of reduction in the upcoming days. With this, I'll hand it over back to you, Jenny.
And I will be happy to turn these things over to Neha so she can tell us about some translation support issues and information.
Thanks, Jenny. Hello, everyone. So here are some translation updates. First of all, it's about global link accounts. Once again, please log into your account every 90 days so that your account doesn't get deactivated. And next is I am uploading and I'm creating projects on Global Link for MSP 2.0 guidebooks. There is an update as well. That is for translation. So please please check your emails for notification from Global Link, and check your Global Link account inbox as well. If you're not able to access that submission, please let me know. And here are two links to access Global Link platform, because I am noticing that some of the users, they are not able to access Global Link applications or Sapphire user interface. Probably there are some errors in the link which has been provided to them. So here are both links to access the Global Link platform. Once you get this presentation, please go through these links. Next slide, please. And yes, every month there is monthly translation POC call. So it's last Friday of each month. And this will be on 29th May at 7:30 a.m. ET. Please attend that session and provide your inputs to that. I'm sorry. And next slide, please. Yes, for any translation request, please go through this form to request for any translation. Please, that will be reached out to me. So, and next is, if there is any update into your training POC or translation POC, here are the links. You can go to these links and update your translation or training POCs. That will be easier for us and beneficial for you as well. And that's it from my side, Jenny.
Okay, thank you, Neha. We are really making a true effort to get BNI materials, excuse me, into your language so that more of your members have access. So this report and this list will be really important for us to help you get the information you need for updates and translations. So as you can see here, there's a link here for you to update that. I'm picturing Jennifer Tolley, just a different Jennifer, giving you this information because mostly on the calls, she's the one saying, please tell us who the person is if you're not the person anymore, or if you've added people so that we can make sure that you're getting the information you need to translate into your own languages. As always, we are here to help you. So as you can just see from this call, several of us are working on different projects, excuse me, different areas of training and technology. So if you need help, the global training at bni.com is the best email because it will get to several people, and then we can make sure the right person is giving you the kinds of things that you need. I'm seeing in the chat, people are saying, I have a question here, I have a question there. Sometimes we can answer them. I see that Neha and Lucy are going to have a conversation about something separately. So as you're having questions, please let us know either here on these calls or at the globaltraining@bni.com email. I know that some of you will probably need to go back to changing the way the world does business or making your dinner, whatever the case may be, or having lunch. So let's end with our quote. And then if you have any questions, you are welcome to stick around for that. We love this quote by Gandhi: live as if you were to die tomorrow, and learn as if you were to live forever. And so as we on the Global Learning and Development team embrace the core value of lifelong learning, we hope that you will as well as you go into the rest of your week in learning. So thank you for being on the call. Next call will be June 4th. And we're happy to stick around for a couple of minutes if anybody has any questions. But if you have the information you need to go back to your countries and regions with training information, then you are free to roam about the cabin. Thank you for being on the call.
Thank you. Do you send these presentations us now after the meeting?
I'm not, Truman, do you know, or Catherine, do we send these out, or are these just available somewhere? How are they available?
Because it's good with all those links that we can get them.
They get
all
added
dates and training.
into, so two ways. We share it into the training POC WhatsApp, but also it will, if you're onboarded on the Teams, if you are a POC for a country and we've got you onboarded onto the Teams POC channels in Microsoft, then there's actually a folder and all the historic ones are stored on there as well. I'm not sure who's going to be uploading it. If I can get a copy of the deck, I'm happy to do that for you today. If not, I'll leave it over to whoever that's been arranged.
Oh, it's okay. I can get it tomorrow too. That's okay. But I would like to, because there were a lot of good links the presentation.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
getting it out quickly, Eva, I know massively helps all of us because I was the same for the UK. So that's great. We'll make sure you get it.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you.
One last question, sorry. When we
Sure.
add
Yeah, go
people in the training POC, will they be sent a calendar invite for the monthly calls?
Oh, they should be. How can we
should
make
be.
that
All
happen?
right.
Yeah,
So I need to
that's a
add
good.
Judy in that list.
Okay.
If you see anybody who we've missed, Judith, just send them over to us. We're happy to send them an invite.
Mm-hmm.
You mean through our
probably
WhatsApp group
yeah.
or
Yeah.
the list?
Yes.
The list.
It's the list on if you're adding somebody to the list for the POC group and they
Right.
don't receive an invite for the meeting, if you let us know, we'll send them an
Message you.
invite for the
All
meeting.
right. I got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. But thank you, Judith. I think Steve probably added me because I sent him a message. Thank you.
Okay. So you're in. Good. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Steve
good.
sent the link. Yeah, thank you.
Good. Thank you.
We have all the Judiths and Judys.
Thank you.
And Jenny's and Jennifer's.
That's right. Right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Bye.
you.